Good morning. It is April 28th, Tuesday, and I am here to kind of close the gap between yesterday's assignment and today's. So, yesterday was you kind of thinking about what are all the groups that had to fight for the rights that should be given to them and how are they going to do it. So, what happens is one group fights, the others see the success and say, hey, we should do that same thing. Those strategies work. We can protest, we can march, we can fight for what is right. So there are many groups that had to fight for rights throughout history and still do today. So what you're going to notice is we often focus on civil rights for blacks, and that's because they were the most visible. TV existed at the time. They were the largest minority at the time, and they deserved rights for all that they had been through. So everybody kind of takes a peek at what they've done and bases their current marches on that historic and important past. So what you'll see is color is one of the many ways to discriminate. So when I say color, I'm not just talking black. We're talking Native Americans and we're talking Asians because they should be called blacks, reds, yellows. Totally derogatory, totally horrible. Women had to fight, people with disabilities, people with mental challenges, sexual orientation, gays just to walk down the street, not even touching, had, endured all kinds of harassment and disgusting discrimination. So how did these things begin? Well, none of this ever really stops. That's the problem. So, and that's because it gets passed on for generation and generation. Some of it's ignorance, that I word we kind of keep coming back to. Some of it is just that's the way my daddy did it, and that's the way his daddy did it, and the information gets passed on just like family stories. So some of it's also bully mentality. You find somebody that you think is lesser or weaker, and you go after them, and you just continue to assert what you believe is power over them, and it's debilitating at times. So there's also people who just need somebody else to blame for what's not good in their life. That's a big piece of it. And then money. It's they're going to take my job, or if it wasn't for them, my life would be better. So there are lots of reasons why people discriminate. So we're jumping from civil rights and then to Ellen DeGeneres. And the reason why we're doing that is because time and place is important. There are fights that happened in the past that you would never even dream of having today, that just should not happen in today's society. But there were times in society where people just refused to give rights because they were set in their ways and they could not get out of that. So it's called time and place. Something that's okay in California is not okay in Vermont. We can talk about wedding cakes. One place won't make a wedding cake for a gay couple and completely shut them out of the store. The other place only makes cakes for gay couples and or everybody. So things are all over the place depending on the state, depending on the nation. So we're going to look at that today by looking at Ellen DeGeneres' story, and you got to focus on time and place. So I know you can do it. It's pretty simple, but you got to take your time and read for purpose. Have a good day.